busting my balls, Billy, okay?
I can already tell that I don't like you.
Fuck you, bust on my ball.
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
It might be your first ball job.
Yeah, of course.
How long did it take for the guy to come?
Everybody, welcome to another episode of Busting Balls. I'm your host, Eric Pennell. What's going on, guys? It's snowed for the first time today and didn't stick, but thank God I'm here in Chicago, man, and I seen snow, and this is it, man. Boy, you know what? You gotta like Elon Musk, man. This guy's a classic shit talker. You know, I don't follow other like electric cars or anything like that. I mean, I know like BMW has like an electric car, like Porsche. Eventually, you know, they have like an electric car, I think. And you know, I know about the car makers that throw out one. But man, this guy's a shit talker. I guess there's a new car maker that.
Although there's competitors now ramping up, and as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West Coast, I think they're ramping.
So BYD is I guess an electric car maker. I don't know what that stands for, BYD, and I Googled it and I seen it. They basically, to me, look like Fords. I mean, they look like a Ford. I mean, it looks like, you know, whatever. I don't know Fords. I don't keep up with them. But I seen like I have an SUV. They have a car. I don't know if they're both electric. I did a quick Google search and looked up BYD, and it looks like a Ford. So this lady asked Elon Musk, you know, what's up with, you know, these guys.
Production of their electric vehicles. Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
Boom. Yeah, have you seen their car? Because if you look at their cars and then you look at a Tesla, dude, honestly, I really, look, I know there's a certain decent percentage of people that buy electric car because they go, it's the future. It's not fossil fuels, which don't act like there ain't fucking any conflict minerals up in that battery of a Tesla. And I'm not even bringing that up like, you know, I ain't got no beef with fossil fuels. I don't got no beef with nothing. Just be responsible as a person that roams the planet. That's basically I got, you know, and I got no problem with people, you know, policing these people to make sure that they're on their game. And if they're not, they can call it out on them. But dude, so there's a large percentage of people that buy Teslas because less fossil fuels, right? But then I think there's a decent larger percentage. I think the largest percentage of people buying Teslas is the way they look. And then it's obviously the battery, and then it's obviously the price. And which not like those are really cheap at all either, you know, besides the low end ones. But yeah, this guy's a real shit talker, man. I mean, good for him.
There's competitors now ramping up, and as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West Coast, I think they're ramping up production of their electric vehicles. Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is trying to compete. Why do you laugh?
Have you seen their car?
Boom. And there you go, man. Because that is part of it. You know, that is it. I mean, you make something. Although these competitors of Tesla, if they could bring the price down, that's going to get more people buying your shit. You know, that is going to get more people where they go, I did want the Tesla. I can only afford the fucking. I can only afford like the BYD or whatever the Ford version of like an electric car is. I'd prefer to have a Tesla, but this is what I mean, that's what most people do with cars anyways. Everybody wants to fucking drive an Audi or a Ferrari or something high end. I know Audi and Ferrari are not the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. And, but this guy knows that, look, my shit's sexy, and we're not even in the same fucking weight class, you know? I mean, it's just a fact, dude, that they're not in the same weight class. Dude, I went down a rabbit hole the other day with Candace Owens because I think on the last podcast I played this Jimmy Fallon and fucking Chelsea Handler thing.
And his support of Donald Trump.
Yeah, what's going on between you? I saw your tweets and I go, wait, what's happening? Because you said he was your favorite ex-boyfriend, and then what does he do? He's supporting Trump?
He says he doesn't want to pay 62%
can't even
of
support
taxes, which, by the way, isn't a plan of Joe Biden's. That's
no, it's not. It's not.
So he doesn't want to pay 62% of taxes because he doesn't want to go from being 50 cent to 20 cent. And I had to remind him that he was a black person.
Yeah, a white lady, dried up white comedian, if you want to put her in that category. I heard she fucked goddamn executive, and then got her fortunes. You know, like there's no women privilege. It's always just straight white male privilege. And white women have no problem, you know, women don't have any privilege at all, I guess, you know. And so she just, you know, puts her guilt on a black guy, which somehow his skin color is so important. And he can't even make the decision. He's voting, you know, when he makes that statement, he's basically just making that statement because he's voting with his checkbook or his pocketbook, and which a lot of people do. Who wants to sign up for something where they're going to take 60? And she's lying. Look at his, who the fuck is going to vote for somebody that they just flat out say, you vote for me and your taxes are going up? That sounds ridiculous. So again, they don't even see how racist they are. These goddamn extra Hollywood and these fucking liberals, how racist they are. How they just they got to remind you, get in your place, boy. Get in your place, boy. 50 Cent. I had to remind you that you're a black person. Oh, like you got to remind him he's a black person. First of all, he's allowed to have his own individual fucking decision on who he's going to vote for as an American. But these liberals got to go on TV and, you know, and get him back in his place. You better get back in your place, boy. You better get. How fucking racist are these people? But then, dude, Candace Owens, man, she's
and what is happening right now in this country is satanic, right? Like, this is like next level stuff that we have never seen in our entire lives. Facebook shutting down speech, highlighting fact checkers to fact check your opinion. You are not allowed to have an opinion that is not in agreement with some shadow government that we have no idea, which seems to be operating everything. Since when can't you put an opinion on Facebook? This will probably get censored. This video right here will probably get censored from the
That's one of the videos that I wanted to play. I didn't hit the right one. I do apologize. There's a part of that where she does talk about 50 cents, but she is talking about how Facebook and social media and Twitter and stuff like that will just straight up censor you if you're putting out news or your opinion of news from their site, and you know they don't want the message out there. So, you know, and I
put their fists in the air. Yeah, I'm fighting against racism. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. And the second a black person says, I actually don't agree with this narrative, I actually want to do this, or I'm having a different meltdown. They don't actually love black lives. They don't support black voices. They don't care about black experiences. They're actually just white liberals, right, who are internal narcissists, who love to find black people that they can use as props to get out what they believe. So they use black people in front of them as pawns, and they say, I want to further my ideas. So allow me to use a minority as a megaphone for my own ideas. If you cared about black people, you'd care to hear different black perspectives, not just the black perspectives that match your own. If you think Candace Owens and Sasha Malia and Barack Obama are all having the same experiences in life simply because they're black, you're not an anti-racist. You are a racist.
Boom. That's it, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Just like Chelsea Handler, you know, bringing up like, oh, it reminds you you're a black person. Same thing with Joe Biden. If you ain't voting for me, you ain't black. Like, what are they doing? You're shaming black people into just using their own fucking brain, which their skin color should have nothing to do with it. Just like red hair and blonde hair and brunettes should have nothing to do with how your brain thinks and how your operating system thinks and how your intelligent decisions think. And you put together a thought, and they're going to shame you because you're. Can you imagine that if you're like, you know, if you ain't voting for me, you ain't a redhead. You know how stupid do these? And then how many like liberals and Democrats just get in line and they go, you're right. Oh, you're thinking like that? Oh, you should be thinking. Give me a break. Give me a break. And what are these? Honestly, dude. Like, first of all, I don't trust any politicians that are promising the world, regardless. But what are Democrats promising? Black people and people of color. Like, what are they promising you? More projects to live in for those certain percentage of people that want to take that option. That's a fucking awful option. I live in Chicago. You don't want to live in projects in Chicago if it was like it's an option, but it's an option most would go, no, thank you. Free living. I know Hispanics. I know everybody. Every skin color gets free living, but they always try to claim like, black people, right? But how do I got buddies here in Chicago, like I've said in the past, that are people? I got friends that are black here that say that Chicago is one of the most racist cities in America. If this is a Democrat city, why would they even think that? Because they know what's up. They know that they know what's up, man. But again, they'll just use them every 4 years.
You don't want black people to have voices. You just want black people to echo what you think so you can look cool in front of your white friends who you want to call a racist. That's what racism is. Using black people as props to get the world to echo what you think.
Man,
it's a little bit of racism mixed with a little bit of narcissism to equal a modern day white liberal. So, for all of you guys who love cancel culture, who love looking for racism even where it doesn't exist, you can take your little racism-looking selves at every pocket of the world and direct it to Chelsea Handler. If you're looking to cancel someone today, maybe someone who said, I had to tell him, remind him that he's a black person and therefore he's not allowed to, would be a good place to start.
Boom. That's right. But they don't even, they're so brainwashed and they're so goddamn racist in their thinking, in their operating system that they can't even see it. And I even hate bringing out this racism shit. But they're the most, everything's about skin color and who you have sex with, a.k.a., whether it's LGBT and how that gets rewarded more. Like I don't understand how anybody having sex with anybody gets more of a reward and you get patted on the head. I don't understand how, depending on your skin color, you get patted on the head. It's so stupid. But they don't even see it that way. And they're so used to throwing it out there that they don't even... They don't even know it. They don't even know how stupid they sound. They don't see it for some. It's getting blown up. But I've been seeing a lot of these New York Jewish folks getting messed with over there. And, you see them getting arrested for protesting. And it's like, okay, I don't know what they did in that video, but why are they getting arrested? But literally cops knocking on Jewish folks' doors because they have cars parked outside and then they knock on the door and there's 10 or more Jewish folks that are in this. They're knocking on their door, bothering them. Why they're in the house? It wasn't like they were outside or anything like that, and they're bothering these guys.
You're breathing in my face. I'm the one wearing a mask.
You're not a glove. You have a face mask. Why do you care?
I'm talking to the owner.
So this video right here for the audio listeners, it's literally a cop in a doorway, and it looks like there's steps that go down. One of those houses where it's steps that go down to the doorway right there, and you open it up, and then obviously it's outside right there. This cop's in the middle of the doorway with like 5 Jewish guys at the end of these steps.
Vehicle parking in the front. Then I look up, and you have over 10 people in a crowd.
So what?
Now it's an issue. Okay.
What is the issue exactly?
The issue is.
This is not a party, there's no music, this is simply a simple thing. They have a few friends together. What is the issue that you need supposed to come into my house and tell me that it's okay for a police officer to walk into my house and say it's okay? When you are the police officer, you know the laws, you know the rules, you can't walk into my house and tell me that it's okay. You would have been a normal person who would have walked out and said, okay, can I talk to you? Fine, I can listen to you. Instead, you're just backing that up again and again.
We're past that. We're past that point. We had a guest try to slam the door. Yeah, he tried.
Boy, this is a slippery slope, man, here, what they're doing with this COVID. I mean, the world is starting to spin up. I feel like it's, just somebody listening here, they go, hey, bud, it's been spinning really hard for a while now. And I agree. But, dude, this is a slippery slope. With COVID, they're knocking on people's doors. It's like, look, whatever we're doing in here, you mind your fucking business. I pay taxes, and I'll do whatever I want to do inside this house as long as it's not, technically illegal. Like, I'm not burning meth up in here. I'm not cooking drugs up in here. I'm not raping anybody. I'm not fucking drug trafficking or human trafficking or what are you worried about in here? If we're not doing anything that before COVID didn't break the law, you're literally beating on doors. That's what they're doing. That's what these mayors are doing, and these city officials are sending out cops to knock on doors. They're bothering taxpayers. They're bothering good citizens. Dude, this is a problem that they need to just go away. They need to go away and leave people alone. And dude, I hate to bring it up, but I tell you what, I didn't grow up around any Jewish folks. I got some comedian buddies that are Jewish and stuff like that, and I've always been an admirer of how they get down and how they live life. But I tell you what, from an outsider looking in, man, the last so many years, I've been seeing some really anti-Semitic behavior on the internet towards Jewish folks and also in government. You'll have some of these government officials making comments and social media stuff, and you're just like, you're going to let them say that shit? And they just smile and they just go, yeah, because we agree with it. And I tell you what, man, it's Trying to keep my eyes on these son of a bitches, you know. But anyways, man, just this world is it really makes me laugh how how what's taken serious and what's not taken serious. If you look at the COVID deaths and you look at the death rate and stuff like that, I mean, of course they say, oh, people are getting sick. Why is it that the numbers of flu have went down since COVID went up? That jumped on the scene. Why? Because they're counting COVID as flu deaths. Or flu deaths as COVID. That's not breaking news. But they don't want to talk about that. Look up the flu. Look up the flu numbers. Look them up every year, and then look them up where they're at now and where they were at last year. And then COVID is claiming them. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're doing it. Okay. So for these guys to take advantage of this, I guarantee you that all this stuff goes away. If Joe Biden wins the election, how much you want to bet within 2 months COVID's not going to be a big problem? Where they're going to, I guarantee you. And they're playing with your money. They're playing with my money. They're playing with the world's money, the government's money, our future of our children, and it's devil stuff, man. I know lately on these podcasts I've been talking about the devil, but this is devil shit that they're playing with right here. I guarantee it. That stuff that Gavin Newsom's doing over there in California, this guy that what they're doing over here in New York City, how do you mess up New York City and California? How do you mess those up? How do you mess up New York City? The greatest city in the world. How do you mess that up? California, well, arguably the greatest state in the country. How do you mess that up with all that beautiful nature that they have there? Yeah, you have all those resources. You have all that coastline. How do you mess that up? They mess that up. Okay? These people are programmed wrong for some reason. And I don't know why people just keep voting that way or they just keep going with it. I got no problem with Democrats. I got no problem with, I got a problem with fucking morons. I got the same thing with Republicans. I got a problem with anybody that's stupid, okay? And they're messing with society. Dude, COVID, I get it. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Like I heard somebody on one of these podcasts say, look, COVID's real, the pandemic is fake. Okay, and I probably get shadow banned for that. I'm going to have to clip that out of my shit. But dude, they're playing politics with this stuff. And if you don't think that, I get it. Hey, it's no joke. Trust me. I'm sure if I get it, I get sniped down, it's going to get me pretty good. I get that. But come on, man. For what they're doing,
information may be damning. And if it comes out before the vote, Biden could get hurt. Ms. Welker didn't want any part of this, as I said. NBC didn't want any part of this at all.
Yeah.
Neither does he.
How does NBC want nothing of the Hunter Biden story? Why wouldn't they want any of that? Why aren't they? I don't understand how these guys are claiming that this is fake news and it's Russia, some bullshit again. They jump on Russia, like where it's like, oh, this is misinformation. How do they jump on Trump getting pissed on by women in Russia? They ran with that. That doesn't get silenced off the internet for some reason. That doesn't get sniped out of the internet air. How do they run with Russia collusion for fucking 2.5, 3 years or whatever that was? I don't even know how long it was. Maybe it was less. How do they run with that? That never gets sniped off the internet air at all. They run with it. CNN basically did 1.5 years of that's all they talked about. MSNBC. How do they do that? But then this whole Joe Biden son thing and Joe Biden possibly getting money,
CBS,
they don't chirp
ABC.
about it at all.
ABC
it's
hasn't
fake.
covered any of it. NPR flat out says we're not covering it. We're not going to cover it because it's a diversion. This is NPR.
NPR.
Okay? And our tax money goes into that news organization, National Public Radio. They say it's a diversion. A diversion from what? You rooting for Joe Biden to win? That's what it's. Yeah, that's a diversion from that. Okay, but that's outrageous.
So what this guy is saying is, if this story turns out to be real, who knows? Maybe it isn't. Maybe there's just a little smoke there, and it's not much of a fire. But if this Hunter Biden story is real, and all these news medias, these news networks did not jump on it, that tells you even more about how horrible our freaking news is in America. How they didn't jump on one of the hottest stories and the most corrupt politician stories, that they don't even jump on it because they're too partisan, where they don't want to jump on it so they don't hurt their guy because it's within weeks of an election and they don't want to hurt their guy. That's where we're at, where they're taking That's where we're at, where even if it is a real story, they don't want to talk about it because their guy that they're backing and their little girl that's the most liberal senator out there, they don't want to hurt her. They're playing cover for that. Come on, dude. We need to strip these news. Dude, these ain't even news anymore. You might as well just call them TMZ, or they might be that. Dude, honestly, at this point, TMZ is probably doing better news than fucking CNN and MSNBC. And I'll even throw it in with Fox. I got no problem with that. These guys are doing shit work. This is shit work that they don't even table it. They don't even table this. Come on, bud. There's, come on. You got something. You got something up there, man. These guys, I don't get how they get down. Fucking California. How the hell is California shutting down the holidays? They're trying to tell you how many people you're supposed to have at your Thanksgiving and your Christmas dinner. That's how many they're trying to tell you that.
Joe Biden said it best. It's going to be a dark December if his ass gets in. Take a look at what his biggest fan, Gavin Newsom's, doing in California with his mandates of all gatherings. So, guys, keep in mind, this is a war on the holidays. No more than 3 households, including your own. So if you have 3 married kids, only 2 of them are allowed to come. You got to make a list of all attendees because they want your info. It may not be indoors. It's got to be outside. But you can go inside briefly to use the bathroom. But you got to come right back outside. Thank you so much, Gavin. You got to be 6 feet apart. You can't get too close to your family. You should only use single serving foods. So no turkey, no mashed potatoes, no cranberry salad. Forget it. Everyone must wear face coverings at all times, unless you're eating. And then you got to put it right back on when you're done.
You're talking for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So they're that much. They want to be in our freaking, like I said, these cops knocking on Jews' doors in New York. And don't think it's just because they're Jewish folks. They're going to knock on your door. They don't care if you're Dominican, Puerto Rican, freaking Irish, or just straight up American, whatever. These are all just Americans. This stupid box that everybody puts everybody in. They're knocking on your door saying you got too many people in there. Are you kidding me? I got too many people in the house that I'm paying rent or a mortgage on, and I pay property taxes on? You better get the fuck out of my face before people start to get violent up in here. And this guy is telling us on the other side of the coast that they're telling you how you're supposed to conduct your family's Thanksgiving and Christmas? Are you out your fucking
Joe
mind?
Biden said it best. It's going to be a dark December if his ass gets in. Take a look at what his biggest fan, Gavin Newsom's, doing in California with his mandates of all gatherings. So, guys, keep in mind, this is a war on the holidays. No more than 3 households, including your own. So if you have 3 married kids, only 2 of them are allowed to come. You got to make a list of all attendees because they want your info. It may not be indoors. It's got to be outside. But you can go inside briefly to use the bathroom. But you got to come right back outside. Thank you so much, Gavin. You got to be 6 feet apart. You can't get too close to your family. You should only use single serving foods. So no turkey, no mashed potatoes, no cranberry salad. Forget it. Everyone must wear face coverings at all times, unless you're eating. And then you got to put it right back on when you're done. You got to keep the gathering to 2 hours or less. And to top it all off, there's no singing or chanting, because who the hell wants to have fun? You think I'm joking? Take a look at the California Department of Health website.
This ain't no joke. Like, we've let them just, like, dictate what our lives are. And all these people were politicians. They were just like you or just like me, and they ran for office. People elect them in there, and this is where they've taken it. This is where they've taken it. Social media, this is where they've taken it. By us using their products, by me promoting my podcast on their thing, and we need them a little bit, or we communicate with our family, and we post our pictures, and we put all our information on there, and then they got all our data, and then they sell all our data, and then they become trillionaires and billionaires. You get what I'm saying here? These are the people that are controlling our lives, guys. We need to speak up. This is a free world, and if we want to keep it free, and I'm not saying just vote Republican or vote for whoever you want. Vote for whoever you want, okay? Please vote for whoever you want to. Make your freaking independent decision. But this is where they're taking it. And if we don't speak up and freaking hard push them back and tell them that, look, moving forward in the future, you even come near this, we're going to chew you up and we're going to shit you out. Bustin' Balls Podcast. God bless you guys.